This hot dog and soda combo costs $1.50. It cost $1.50 in 1985. It cost the same in 2000. Same price last week. If it had simply tracked inflation, you'd be paying about $4.40 today. But it hasn't. And not because Costco forgot. It's because for 40 years, Costco has been actively fighting to keep it exactly where it is. Which means once you understand why, you'll start seeing this exact same move hiding inside almost every business you walk into. That's what this channel does. We pull apart how companies actually work and show you the receipts. So if you want more videos like this, hit the like button and subscribe. That's how you tell me to keep making them. In 2009, the Seattle Times asked Jim Sinegal, Costco's co-founder, then CEO, what happens if that price goes up? His answer was 3 words: that I'm dead. You've probably heard a wilder version floating around. The one where he threatens to actually kill his successor over the hot dog. That's everywhere on YouTube. That's also wrong. The actual quote is what you just heard. A founder drawing a line 40 years ago and telling his replacement, "This doesn't move." So the question becomes, why would a company spend 4 decades absorbing every cost pressure that came at it, rather than raising the price by 25 cents? To answer that, you have to understand the man who said it. Jim Sinegal co-founded Costco in 1983. He ran it for almost 30 years. And in an industry where CEOs routinely take home tens of millions of dollars a year, Sinegal's salary was $350,000. Not $350,000 a quarter, a year. That's less than 10% of what the median Fortune 500 CEO was making at the time. He didn't take it because he had to. He took it because he believed something specific about how companies should work. Sinegal told the New York Times in 2005, quote, "Having an individual who is making 100 or 200 or 300 times more than the average person working on the floor is wrong." He didn't have a corner office at Costco headquarters. His desk sat in the hallway. No door, no glass wall. Anyone could walk up to him. He answered his own phone. There's a story from 1996 that Costco employees still tell each other. The company had been selling Calvin Klein jeans for $29.99. A buyer struck a better deal on the next batch. The cost dropped. Sinegal could have kept the price the same, pocketed an extra $7 per pair. Pure profit. He didn't. He dropped the shelf price to $22.99 and passed every cent to the customer.
That is the person who said that I'm dead about the hot dog. For Sinegal, the price wasn't a number, it was a promise. And promises don't get adjusted for inflation. But promises do come under pressure. The first real test came in 2013. Craig Jelinek, who'd taken over from Sinegal as CEO the year before, walked into a meeting with a genuine problem. Beef prices were climbing. Labor was climbing. Operating costs everywhere were climbing. And Costco had been holding $150 for nearly 3 decades. His pitch was simple: move it to $175. Sinegal said no. So Jelinek didn't ask again. He engineered around it. First move: he tore up Costco's Coca-Cola contract and signed with Pepsi instead. Better unit economics on the soda side. Then he changed the soda format entirely. Out went the 12-ounce can. In came the 20-ounce fountain cup. Customers got more drink. Costco paid less per ounce to dispense it. Both sides of the equation improved without touching the price tag. But the soda was the easy part. The hot dog itself, that was the real problem. Back in 2009, Costco did something most retailers wouldn't even consider over a $150 menu item. They stopped buying from Hebrew National, their longtime kosher supplier. Prices were climbing. Volume was outpacing their capacity. So Costco built their own factory, a Kirkland signature hot dog plant in California. Their house brand, made by Costco, served by Costco. The supplier markup that other retailers spend their entire careers negotiating against. Costco simply eliminated, by becoming the supplier themselves. Then they built a second one in Illinois. Today, those 2 plants produce more than 135 million hot dogs a year. That is more hot dogs than every Major League Baseball stadium combined. Step back from the timeline for a second. Over 15 years, Costco renegotiated a national soda contract, redesigned the soda format,
dropped a major brand supplier, opened a factory, then opened another one. All of it carefully arranged around protecting one price tag on one combo at the back of a warehouse. A normal company raises the price and moves on. Costco didn't, which tells you something fundamental is happening here. To understand the reason, look at the rest of the menu. Walk to the back of any Costco, and yes, the back, deliberately. There is a rotisserie chicken. It costs $4.99. It has cost $4.99 since the year 2000. There was a brief moment in 2008 when Costco raised it to $5.99. By 2009, it was back to $4.99. It has not moved since. In 2015, Costco's then CFO Richard Galanti told reporters the company was willing to give up $30 to $40 million a year in gross margin every year to keep that chicken at $4.99. In fiscal year 2025, Costco sold 157 million rotisserie chickens, about 431,000 a day, and those chickens are placed at the back of every warehouse on purpose. To get to one, a customer has to walk the length of the building, past everything else Costco wants them to see. But the chicken story doesn't end with the price tag, because by 2016, Costco was selling roughly 60 million rotisserie chickens a year, and rising. The wholesale chicken market was getting tight. Suppliers wanted more. A normal retailer would have negotiated, accepted a small increase, nudged the chicken to maybe $5.49. Costco built a chicken company. In Fremont, Nebraska, they put up a $450 million poultry complex, a 400,000 square foot processing plant, a 90,000 square foot hatchery, a feed mill capable of holding more than 17,000 metric tons of grain. They contracted around 100 farming families across 17 Nebraska counties to raise the birds in 520 new barns. They called it Lincoln Premium Poultry. And here's the part that matters. It was the first time a U.S. retailer had ever fully vertically integrated chicken production. Tyson does this, Purdue does this, the chicken giants do this, but Costco is not a chicken company. Costco sells warehouse memberships. By the end of 2020, that one Nebraska facility was processing 2 million chickens a week. It now supplies about 40% of Costco's rotisserie chicken demand across the western half of the United States. And the savings work out to roughly 35 cents per bird. Multiply 35 cents across 157 million chickens a year. Now you start to see why Costco was willing to spend nearly $500 million on a poultry facility in rural Nebraska to protect a $4.99 price tag. A normal company would call this insane. Costco called it Tuesday. The pattern goes further. Costco's return policy is officially called the 100% satisfaction guarantee. A customer can return almost anything, almost any time, often without a receipt. Costco will refund the membership fee itself if a member is dissatisfied. There are stories that have become folklore at this point. People returning a half-eaten birthday cake because they didn't like the frosting. People returning a Christmas tree in January. Refund issued. Most retailers have refund policies. Costco has a promise. And underneath all of it is a pricing rule. Costco caps the markup on every branded product at 14%. On its own Kirkland signature line, the cap is 15%. Across the entire warehouse, gross margin runs around 11%. A typical retailer marks goods up by 25 to 50%. A combo locked at $150 for 40 years. A chicken locked at $4.99 for 25 years. A custom-built chicken complex in Nebraska. A return policy that costs the company real money to honor. A markup ceiling that's a fraction of the industry standard. This is not a coincidence. This is a strategy. And here's where I want to hear from you, because everyone has an opinion on this one. Pause the video, drop a comment, one word. Is the Costco hot dog a gimmick, or is it genius? Pick a side. I'm reading every reply. Now. In 1974, two psychologists named Amos Tversky and Daniel Kahneman published a paper in the journal Science. That paper would later help win Kahneman a Nobel Prize. They described an experiment. A group of people sat in a room with a wheel of fortune. The wheel had been rigged to land on either 10 or 65. The researchers spun it in front of the participants. Then they asked, what percentage of countries in the United Nations are African? People who watched the wheel land on 10 guessed, on average, about 25%. People who watched the wheel land on 65 guessed, on average, about 45%. The wheel was random. The number was meaningless. Everyone in the room could see it was a wheel of fortune. And yet, that arbitrary, irrelevant number bent every estimate that came after it. Tversky and Kahneman called this anchoring. The first number a person sees reshapes every number that comes after it. Now apply that to a Costco. The first prices a customer encounters in or near a Costco are not arbitrary. A $1.50 combo, a $4.99 chicken, a 14% markup cap, a return policy that costs the company to honor. These numbers don't just exist, they calibrate. A shopper picks up a 60-count box of laundry detergent. It costs less per unit than the 30-count at their regular grocery store. They don't have to do the math. They feel the truth of the price. Because they've already been anchored. This is Costco. There was a $1.50 hot dog at the front. These people are not trying to rip me off. That feeling, that this place is honest, is the entire product. The hot dog is not a loss leader. A loss leader is transactional. It sacrifices margin on one item to capture margin on another item in the same trip. Sell the milk cheap, sell the steak expensive. The hot dog is what behavioral researchers call a proof point, a constant, a signal. Its job is not to make a customer buy a hot dog. Its job is to prove, viscerally, emotionally, in a way no advertisement could, that Costco's promise of low prices is real. Once a customer believes that promise, the customer stops checking other prices. And that is when something else kicks in. Something Tversky and Kahneman also described. It's called loss aversion. The same research showed that people feel the pain of losing something roughly twice as much as the pleasure of gaining the same thing. Now think about what a Costco membership is. You pay $65 or $130 for the executive tier before you've bought anything. That money is gone, sunk. The card is in your wallet. And every month you don't shop there, you feel like you're wasting it. So you go. You go more than you actually planned to. Because the alternative is admitting you wasted a membership fee. This is not an accident either. This is the trap snapping shut. The anchor pulls you in. The membership locks you in. Both effects working together on the same person in the same building. And the result? This is where Costco actually makes its money. In fiscal year 2025, Costco generated $5.3 billion in membership fees. That same year, the company's net income was $8.1 billion. The membership fees by themselves account for the majority of the profit. The merchandise, the billions of products flowing through every warehouse, barely earns money on its own. Costco is not a retailer that sells memberships. Costco is a membership that happens to sell merchandise. And the proof is in the renewal rate. In Costco's SEC filing for fiscal year 2025, the member renewal rate was 92.3% in the US and Canada, 89.8% worldwide. For comparison, the average gym membership renewal rate is around 50%. Streaming services hover near 60%. Almost everyone who joins Costco stays. They stay because of a feeling that this place is honest, a feeling that this place is on their side. That feeling has a price tag, and the price tag is $150. Now you might be thinking, sure, other warehouse clubs do something similar. Sam's Club, BJ's. They all have cheap food courts. Sam's Club's hot dog combo costs $1.38, even cheaper. But here's the thing. Sam's Club has never built the cult. The renewal rates aren't as high. The vibes aren't the same. Because anchoring is not just about the number, it's about the time the number has been held. A price that's been $150 for 40 years carries a different psychological weight than a price that's been $138 for 5 years. One feels like a stunt. The other feels like a vow.
Costco didn't invent the cheap hot dog. Costco invented holding it. Once you understand what the hot dog is doing, you start seeing it everywhere. Every successful business has a hot dog. A specific thing held cheap or held generous or held true on purpose for years to anchor your trust in everything else they sell. In the next video, we're going to look at a chain that built its entire business model around a $1 hot dog. It is not Costco, and the reason they did it is even stranger than this one. Subscribe so YouTube actually puts it in front of you when it drops. And one more thing. If this video hits 1,000 likes, I'll drop a bonus episode breaking down the companies that broke their hot dog, the ones that raised the price, the ones that killed the promise, and what it cost them. So if you want to see that one, go hit the like button right now. This was Hidden Logic. I'll see you in the next one.